Steve Perry's Traces Tour. Is it going to happen? Will history repeat itself? We'll discuss that topic coming right up.
And now it's time for Steve Perry News with Gary Stuckey. All Steve Perry News.
Hello, everybody. I'm Gary Stuckey. Welcome back to another episode of Steve Perry News. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. It's that time of year, and it's time for Christmas, right? It's getting closer. Some surprises there, right? I remember Steve Perry earlier in the year saying that they're going to talk about a tour at the end of this year. Now, did he mean they're going to tour at the end of this year? It probably meant they're going to talk about it. But I'm sure we're going to hear something about a tour in a few weeks or so, right? We've only got about 4.5 weeks left before the end of the year. And many people, I hate to say this, but many people are shooting down the idea that Steve is going to tour. I guess he's just this old, feeble old man that needs to sit at home. But Steve himself said, he brought up the tour. He brought up, that they were talking about it. Why would he bring up that fact? Why would he not just say, nope, not going to do it? I'm getting too old for this stuff. He didn't say that. Uh, but people are shooting down this idea. And Steve has mentioned a lot of stuff. He's hinted around a lot of stuff, including the tour and some other things that people have shot down. And they just need to pay attention to the guy and understand that history repeats itself. And there's this video online. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called The Kitchen is Closed with Steve Perry. A little short documentary interview promoting his album back in the day, 1994's For the Love of Strange Medicine. Go check that out. But in the video, Steve is talking about various things, with Journey. He's talking about similar things about why he left and he got burnt out and this and that, and he goes into detail. Says the same things he's been saying. I know I've said this before. I'm rehashing this idea, but when he's mentioned, he's talking about this tour, he says, yeah, we're talking about it. We're talking about it. And after I get through with this promotional tour, so he's, promoting the album, he said, after that, we're going to get together and practice with the guys, and then we're going to do the tour. Now, the album came out in the summer, July, I think, of 1994, and then they went on tour starting in October. So it was about 3 months there. So this album comes out October the 5th. So October, November, December, January. So if he was going to tour just like he did, if he was, letting history repeat itself, he would start the tour in January. Not saying that's written in stone that he is in fact going to tour, but if he was going by his old ways, that would be in January, right? So if he said he was going to talk about it at the end of the year, surely we'd be hearing something very soon, right? So, and Steve has been promoting his album constantly. He's been going through court proceedings, but he's still, even today on Twitter, bringing up the album and promoting it, keeping that fire, that spirit alive, kind of hinting around that something is about to happen. Go check out my videos that I mentioned that there's something in the air, is about to happen. But so that's it. People are doubting Steve is going to tour, and history repeats itself. He said, just like he did in the old days, he said, we're talking about it. So if he said it back then, if he said, we're talking about it, I'm going to do this promotional tour where I go to different radio stations and talk, then we're going to get together and practice and then tour. So if he said that back then, of course he's going to do that now. And the only difference is he's older. So it's probably not going to be a long extended tour. Maybe it won't be as big. The stadiums might not be as big. It might be smaller venues or something like that. But I even had a dream the other night about it, and I have a lot of dreams that come true. I'm just saying. But But to doubt Steve when he has talked about a tour, he would not bring up a tour if he hasn't really thought about it. And history does repeat itself, and he's mentioned some other things that are very interesting that I'll be talking about with you in the future. So stick around for that. And go check out some of my other videos. Subscribe if you haven't already. And share these videos over on Twitter, Facebook. Tell everybody about it. I'm glad that you enjoy these videos. Tell all your friends. And get ready for something exciting from Steve, right? And meanwhile, Steve's got that court procedure going on. Some interesting stuff there that I've been looking into, and I'll tell you about that later. Hey, this is Gary Stuckey. Don't stop believing, everybody. God bless you.